You know why this Ford truck is jumping up for joy? Well, he's getting a stepbrother from Rivian, all electric stepbrother. I'll tell you all about it coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric!
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that red subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right, mazel tov to the happy couple who's planning a baby. And this is a really exciting story, guys, because Ford just invested $500 million, $500 million. My math doesn't even go that high. Lots of money into Rivian to produce an all-electric truck. The way it's going to work is pretty simple. Obviously, the investment, Rivian will take that money and hopefully won't blow it in Vegas, but instead, build the factory or continue building the factory and start producing trucks. They're supposed to produce their truck, a pickup truck, and also all-electric SUV by the end of the next year. But what they're going to do is they're going to use part of this factory to produce powertrains, the batteries, and so forth for Ford to build their own. Now, it's not going to be a F-150 type of truck or any type of truck it looks like they have in their lineup, but they will produce I guess a new truck on their own. Now they said they are not giving up on the efforts to produce their own electric truck. They're not giving up on the efforts to produce them next generation all electric Mustang type of a car either, which is good. But as you know, Ford has been behind a lot, and we kind of hoped they were gonna buy Lucid Motors and they were do quite a different acquisitions, but none of it happened. But this actually makes a lot of sense. They will not acquire this company. I guess they'll acquire a part of the company, get the technology, and I guess in their press releases they were also saying how they're excited to learn how to turn around ideas really quick, which is obviously a problem in the bigger company. But to be honest with you, I don't think they had any ideas. So you have to have ideas to turn them around, and I don't think they were trying that hard. But now it looks pretty good. And again, another investment for Rivian, which is great. As you know, they just got a $700 million investment from Amazon, which is another great strategic partner, because obviously they'll be selling maybe they'll be even selling their trucks through Amazon. I'm just guessing. That would be kind of cool. But definitely the charging stations and many other things. And I'm hoping Amazon Alexa is going to go into the Rivian truck as well. So that's another great partnership, strategic partner, $700 million, and then another $500 million. So that's $1.2 billion that they just got, which is more than enough. Don't forget, Lucid got $1 billion, Biden got $500 million. All these companies, they're all operating on about $500 million to $1 billion. So that's, and Rivian has already been kicking butt for years, and they have a factory already that they got from Mitsubishi. So they are in a really good financial situation. This deal does make sense. And the loser in this deal, and let me tell you there is a loser in this deal. Before that, let me talk about another all-electric car that's coming, SUV coming next year, and this is from our sports sponsor Byton. Check out the all-electric SUV M-Byte scheduled to come to the U.S. and Europe next year, starting at only $45,000. Check out this huge shared experience dashboard screen, one of 5 screens they have there with an amazing UX experience. Over 50,000 reservations around the world, but the best part is you don't have to put down any money to get yours. So if you haven't already, go to byton.com or see their link in the description of this video and reserve yours today. All right, so let's talk about the loser in this deal, because there is one, in its GM. Because this truck is not getting a stepbrother or a stepsister or any type of family, really, if you think about it, because they were in talks reportedly with Rivian, and kind of looks like they were kind of working on the same type of a deal, but reportedly GM wanted an exclusive deal, meaning like Rivian will make their own trucks and they will produce or help produce the Chevy trucks and no other trucks. Now, I understand on one point where Chevy was going with that, because otherwise, like, what's the competitive advantage of you over, same thing with Ford, right? If the deals are going to be similar. But And you know, Chevy is ahead of Ford. Definitely, they have a Chevy Bolt, which is very, you know, besides being a little fugly, I have to say, they do have the technology. They are not using it or selling it, but they do have the technology. So maybe they weren't as desperate for it as Ford was. But nevertheless, I do understand GM walking away from this deal. But you know, for Ford, I can also understand why they, you know, ended up going into it. $500 million is really not that much, you know, for a company like Ford, and what they're getting, which is looks like an amazing technology from Rivian, is definitely a good deal. Now, there are some positives and negatives in the story, so let's get to it right now. All right, so obviously the positive is that another legacy manufacturer is going to have an all-electric product, and not like any type of product. It's going to be all-electric pickup truck, something that, you know, I feel like the last category of people to convince, not that there's, you know, a shortage of those, are the guys who are driving these big, you know, trucks and saying, listen, we're not going to buy into it because, you know, we don't even have an option anyway. I think once they have an option, that just like everybody else, they'll be like, whoa, yeah, I want that. And Rivian is an amazing truck. Obviously, Rivian is a truck more for like luxury. I think they would call it adventure. A vehicle, and you know, something like a F-150 or the GM, any kind of big real truck. They do need to be made, you know, for people to use for real stuff like construction and running businesses and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's where Rivian technology is going to come together with the build of Ford, and that's where they're going to be able to kind of shine together. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Obviously, you know, that's great. The fact that Rivian is getting this recognition, I don't know about any other startup brand, even including Tesla, that got so much recognition so fast. You know, it is definitely truly like unbelievably how fast they're moving with everything. Obviously, RJ is kind of a little superstar, and I had a great time talking to him in LA Auto Show. This is literally at their very first unveiling before the LA Auto Show, the private location in Los Angeles. Obviously, a lot of trust. My bad. A lot of trust goes into having him as the CEO and the leader of this company. But his team is amazing, and I think the fact that people are finally kind of recognizing it, or at least this fast recognizing it, is definitely a big deal. And it's not just for Rivian. This is kind of for all electric technology in the world, right? This is like when Ford and Chevy is going after these guys on Amazon, like you know, there's something there. And again, I feel like it's beyond Rivian. But there are some negatives here as well. You know, one is, you know, legacy manufacturer, and I'm assuming they're going to get a board seat or two, you know, kind of being part owner of a all innovation startup. You know, that's, I know it's a long way, but it's one step closer to having this be less of an innovation and more of kind of trying to fit in into the legacy, no innovation type of the environment. So that's a little bit of a concern. But the bigger concern is like, listen, if they're going to be making the powertrains for Ford, and they're going to be making it at their factory, and I think their factory has maybe a capacity of what, like a 250,000 cars a year. You know, does it mean that they won't be making enough of their own trucks? And don't forget, they're making a pickup truck. They're making it an SUV. I'm assuming they're going to come up with other cars. I'm assuming they would like to compete in a four-door sedan and a compact, and then a compact SUV and all that stuff. I can see them coming up and unveiling maybe one, two, even three vehicles in the next couple of years before their production even starts. So where they're going to be making them, if that factory will be pretty busy making cars for Ford, and Ford is not going to be happy with 10, 20, 30,000 car run. They will probably want 50, maybe to even 100,000 to be produced. That's, I mean, these guys might look into expanding, taking that $500 million and having to maybe build another factory, maybe in China. That's always a possibility. But anyway, it looks like a legacy manufacturer, kind of taking some control and capabilities of production from Rivian. that could be a negative thing. I mean, let me know what you think. I'm just a little bit concerned, not a lot concerned. Definitely a great day for Rivian and just electric car community overall. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to our VIP list, by the way, where we send you a weekly exclusive stories, sometimes offers, and just exclusive content. It's free. Just go to e4electric.com/VIP. The link is also in the description of this video. All right. Let me know what you think. Are you a reservation holder for Rivian? Looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time. And remember to stay charged.